Hey everybody, Little Spot here. Today we're doing something a little different. We're hopping into the time machine and digging up history facts that sound so fake, you'll think I made them up. But I didn't. History is weird, y'all. I'm talking wars fought against birds, a city that danced itself into chaos, and a flood of molasses that moved faster than a stampede. Yes, molasses. So grab a carrot, buckle up, and let's see just how ridiculous the past really was. History class was never this fun, I promise. First stop, Australia, 1932. Australia once declared war on emus. Yes, war. On birds. Farmers were losing crops to 20,000 emus, so the government sent soldiers with machine guns to handle it. And here's the punchline, the emus won. The soldiers fired thousands of rounds, and the emus just dodged. They were too fast. The military actually retreated after weeks of failure. So Australia lost a war to flightless birds. The emus are still undefeated to this day. And honestly, I respect it. Next, the dancing plague of 1518. In the city of Strasbourg, one woman started dancing in the street. Sounds fun, right? Well, she couldn't stop. Then more people joined. Within a month, about 400 people were dancing non-stop, day and night, for days on end. Some danced until they collapsed. Doctors prescribed more dancing. Which, spoiler alert, did not help. To this day, nobody knows exactly why it happened. Maybe stress, maybe a weird food poisoning. Either way, it's the only time in history where dance it off was official medical advice. Now here's a record you probably didn't know existed, the shortest war in history. It's called the Anglo-Zanzibar War, and it lasted about 38 minutes. 38. Basically, a new sultan took power in Zanzibar without Britain's approval. Britain said, "Hey, that's not cool," and showed up with warships. The sultan surrendered in under an hour. The whole war was shorter than your average lunch break. Some soldiers probably missed it entirely. Britain won, history was made, and everyone went back to tea. Okay, this next one will break your brain. Cleopatra lived closer in time to the moon landing than to the building of the Great Pyramid. Think about that. The pyramids were already over 2,500 years old when Cleopatra was born. To her, the pyramids were ancient history, the way the Roman Empire is ancient history to us. And she's closer to us than to the pyramids. So when you feel old because of your back pain, just remember, Cleopatra was closer to smartphones than to the pyramids. Sort of. Time is weird. Here's one that sounds like a glitch in the timeline. The fax machine was invented in 1843. That's more than 30 years before the telephone was patented. It sent images over telegraph lines, which is basically Victorian texting. So Abraham Lincoln could have received a fax. He didn't, because nobody had one, but he could have. The fax machine is older than the telephone, older than the light bulb, and probably older than your grandma's printer that still works somehow. Technology is a strange, beautiful mess. Speaking of old things, check this out. The University of Oxford is older than the Aztec Empire. Oxford started teaching students around the year 1096. The Aztec capital, Tenochtitlan, wasn't even founded until 1325. That's over 200 years later. So while Oxford professors were grading essays, the Aztecs didn't exist yet. A school is older than an entire empire. Imagine telling that to the Aztecs. Sorry, we had a university before you had a country. Brutal. Now for the stickiest disaster in history, the Great Molasses Flood of 1919. In Boston, a giant tank holding over 2 million gallons of molasses just burst. A wave of molasses, 25 feet tall, swept through the streets at 35 miles per hour. It crushed buildings, knocked a train off its tracks, and sadly, 21 people lost their lives. The cleanup took months, and people said Boston smelled like molasses for years. So next time your pancake syrup is a little slow, be grateful it's not trying to flatten a building. And now, the most chaotic sporting event in history, the 1904 Olympic Marathon in St. Louis. It was a mess from the start. The winner hitched a ride in a car for part of the race, got out near the finish, and won. He was disqualified when they found out, obviously. Another runner was given rat poison, literally strychnine, mixed with brandy by his coach, and he still finished. A Cuban mailman ran it in street clothes and stopped to eat some apples. This race had it all: cheating, poison, and snack breaks. The Olympics were different back then. Finally, the Pony Express. You've heard of it, right? Legendary mail service, brave riders galloping across the Wild West. Here's the thing nobody tells you: it only lasted 18 months. 18. It was expensive, dangerous, and got replaced by the telegraph almost immediately. But those 18 months were so awesome that we still talk about it 160 years later. The Pony Express is basically the viral video of the 1860s. Brief, legendary, and everyone remembers it. So next time you think your 15 minutes of fame is short, remember the Pony Express had 18 months. So there you have it. Wars lost to birds, dancing plagues, 38-minute wars, and a flood of molasses. History isn't boring, it's absolutely unhinged. If you learned something new, or just laughed at an emu with a helmet, smash that like button and subscribe so you don't miss the next time machine adventure. This is Little Spot, hopping back to the present. Stay curious, stay weird, and remember, the past is way stranger than you think. See you next time.